Hey, we have a lot to talk about. And right now I'm playing Genshin Impact 4.6, this cutscene right here, this QTE thing, I like it, I think I'm enjoying it, I wish they'd do it to the end game. Before we talk about the video any further, I know that my account is just starting. I barely talk about anything, I complain about a lot of stuff, Genshin this, Genshin that. I play a lot of Sifu, my content is very inconsistent. But I want to tell you that I will mainly play Wuthering Waves. But that game hasn't come out yet. And right now Genshin is pretty much dead. So there's not much I can do, and let's get back to the video. So as always, I think it's just good to talk about the good things Genshin 4.6 have given. Like right now I see that this new area, I think Hoyoverse gave a lot of good mechanics, good puzzles, like they always put a lot of effort into making this. And I'm not surprised. They've done this to all of the other areas. So yeah. And Alucina, I have to say she's one of the best characters. She looks good visually and she plays, how do I say, like both damage and fun factor. She's just really good. She is a must-have character, I would say. I think you should get her if you don't have a higher DPS. I also think you should get her if you have Hutao already. Like she's just fun. A lot more fun to play than dashing around with Hutao. And I know Hutao does a lot of damage. I have her. I have her and her weapon. And I also have Shan Yun. I still like to have Alucina. I think she's a really good character. But but don't pay for the game. I still think you should save your money for something else. Spending on the game, bad choice. So this character is good. If you want her, get her. I have to admit that she she and Nuvula is like her more. I honestly like her more. I like her playstyle just tapping around like that. I like Alucina more than Nuvula charge attack. And I did finish the quest for Alucina. It wasn't all that good. A lot of things have been told in the animation, and I think you should just watch that. If you're looking for a story, you should just watch the animation. But if you're looking for Primo Gems, 60 Primo Gems, you can always fight. And you can always play the Alucina quest. I mean, why not? But don't expect too much. You have a lot of dialogues to go through. As always, Genshin put a lot of dialogues. So I did then play this quest.
Hot digging and dumb. This place is magnificent.
This quest is wow. I like the design. I like this place. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. And I don't know. Sometimes I think about this. Why do we not have these as an art quest? This looks good. And this put us to the next part. The problem of this Genshin Impact 4.6. So much effort was put into this. It's obvious. No matter how good this seems, no matter how big the area is, this is a filler patch and we will soon just move on from it as if nothing happened. That goes the same for the desert, Economia, the Dragon Spine, which I have no idea why it's still in the map, and the Arenara, which most people, even content creators, try to avoid this quest as much as possible. They couldn't find all the Arenaras. I hated it. I played through it, but I hated it. Right, look, I tried to appreciate this area, but these things, they can get very repetitive. We all know that we are just doing this for primogems. Like, I get burned out. I get burned out and I couldn't finish it. And it took me a few days, but then there it is. It's done. I got my primogems. I leave that place. I don't go there anymore. Swimming is frustrating. I hated it. And yeah, we get to the new area, we explore 100%, try to get all these chests because it's the only way to get our Primus currency and pull the characters that you may or may not get. Due to the alpha gacha system, and I would know. I would. Because I'm currently far into pity to get Alicino. And if I don't win the 50-50, I guess I'm not getting one of the most anticipated, one of the best DPS, most cool looking character in the game has ever arrived in Genshin for a very, very long time. And guys, that's gonna make Genshin for me one hell of a boring game if I don't get her. I'm just being honest here, and I might as well just stop after that. Of course, Genshin didn't have to be this bad though, if the characters isn't the only content in the game. And we'll get through that. This game, they specialize in combats. It has amazing element mechanics to top it all off, right? The animation is crazy good. It has no clunkiness and every movement very smooth compared to many other gacha games. Genshin was a good game. Hoyo broke the normie barrier, and honestly, it has done their part. And they've done their part in the gacha space, but we should all know by now at this point that Genshin, the game, won't and will never change for the better. It won't. I want you to think about this long and hard.
That's what she said.
Remember Tower and Fantasy? Sure, the game is unfinished. Sure, the animation is clunky. Till this day, the UI is still bad in that game. It's so bad. But what's worse, at the start of the pre-register of the game, there was a lot of hype in the game. I remember I was there. A lot of people was ready to quit Genshin.
Let every worthy sacrifice be carved in ice. With this nation endure for all time. In the name of Her Majesty the Tsarits.
Yep, the Fatui trailer came out of nowhere. 2 weeks after the pre-registration, like they just don't want you to register the game at all. Look, I don't think TOF would have last. I don't think it will last. The game was very buggy, but me and my wife, we genuinely enjoy the game, and it's a game where we can play as our own characters. We make our own character creation, actually do co-op stuff together. It was fun. The UI in Tower of Fantasy is so shit. We had to go back to Genshin. So here's the thing, like, if Genshin can do that to TOF around that time, what do you think they're gonna do to Wuthering Waves? And I did saw this. It came out during Wuthering Waves, kind of have a path to go. Like, people are starting to look like, oh, Wuthering Waves looks pretty good. It looks like Genshin, but kind of better. Like, the action is so fast-paced. It looks nice, right? So here's my advice. We gotta stop coping. Stop coping for Genshin to be better. Play the games as it is, like it's fine. Stop playing if you're burnt out, and please, come on, don't pay the game, don't spend anymore. They did this thing like when a new competition, a new challenger arrived, right? They suddenly just came out of nowhere. There's content again. It's weird, right? It's kind of weird to do that. It's kind of scummy, but I feel really bad for these people that pays thousands of dollars to see Cesar Chino. I've seen so much, it's ridiculous. I get that she's hot, and yeah, she actually does a lot of damage, but people should get to the thick skull. I mean, come on. You're paying for this character to get stronger, does more damage, but you won't be using that full potential because of the lack of content in this game. Because the dev, they refuses to respect their player base. It's insane. And I mean, hey, Wi-Fi was not broken, right? They're still making billions. It doesn't matter how much complaints people have given. They can release the same thing. Players will eat the shit out of it. Players will still play it to get in-game currency. They give nothing. A filler patch. and yet you still spend thousands of dollars. You gotta stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
But hey, look, cheer up. This month, we'll be getting a game. A really good game that seems to be the best game to be compared to Genshin. Like, honestly, finally, right? It won't be too long now, but the game seems very promising, has literally everything what Genshin has. The character designs is just as good as, if not better in my opinion, more adult-ish, I would say. No sunshine and rainbow because that's getting sick, honestly. They have a parry mechanic. This whole dodging thing is pretty good as well, and much more fast-paced combat like DMC and Nier Automata level of speed. I haven't heard of teapot stuff, which is amazing. The game is very fast-paced. Stamina doesn't seem like an issue here. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be a problem, unlike Genshin, it's less annoying to deal with. Not to mention we have the Pokemon catching system, right? The system is great. It's gonna keep you playing the game over and over. It's one of the end game, I would say. That will be such a content. I'm just very excited to play this game. It looks good. The animation looks smooth, unlike Tower of Fantasy. It's very clunky at the start. And this game seems complete. I know they can do much better, but it looks good enough to be played. I know we shouldn't expect too much so soon. The game hasn't been out yet, and for me to say all these good things without even touching the CBT, I didn't get in. And it's fine, because I like to avoid it, I like to keep it new, I like to keep it fresh, and that's good enough for me. But this game has such a good potential right now. It looks good. If Kuro keeps the generosity they do, if they give a decent patch after patch, I would be willing to spend. I would be willing to play the game for as long as I have played Genshin. 3 years of Genshin feels like a total waste, a total disrespect they've given. I hope Kuro doesn't disappoint. I really do. Okay, here's my Alechina pools for those who are curious if I got her or not.